Good day. I hope you're doing really well. This video is going to jump right in to the concept of getting a little deeper into the roots of like how come it's hard to know sometimes what we need to eat and what we want to eat. Now I do want to do a little introduction because I know it's been a while. So my name is Tracy Brown. I'm a dietitian, but I kind of first, I guess maybe claim to be a somatic nutrition therapist, and all that means is that my approach is really going from the body up as well as from the top down, giving you guys information and education about how the body works and all the good stuff, but also encouraging you and giving you the strength and courage to use your body as a resource, because oftentimes we try to really think our way into this process, but we don't use what our body is saying to what is feeling challenging or difficult about making progress. So these videos are really about uplifting you, encouraging you, giving you the information you need to go deeper as to why you're getting stuck, because we can all read lots of blog posts and articles and books and listen to all the things, but what's really important to me is that you understand the how come, so it makes action easier. So I just want to put that all out there, that's why I do these videos, because I just see so much confusion and misunderstanding about how to do intuitive eating, what makes the process take as long as it does for some of us. Not everybody can just I did intuitive eating and I'm done in 6 months. It's like this is a continually unfolding process, and people often blame themselves when it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3, change a thing and then I'm done. It's like we see how deeply our relationship with food intersects with so many other pieces and parts of us that also need healed. So I just want to put that out there. And if you heard all the racket just now, I apologize. My poor old dog. Many of you know Chuck. He's got a collapsed trachea, so he's not dying. He just sounds like it. And so if he happens to be where I'm at, then always at the worst time, he'll start coughing. So he doesn't do it very much. He has a couple little fits, maybe twice a day at most, and that's it. So he's okay. He's hanging in. So let's get started. When I think about knowing what we want to eat, it always goes back to how present we are. And if we're having trouble staying present and embodied, we're going to be kind of doing this reachy kind of thing. I know I need to eat, but we often reach for when I say not the wrong thing, our bodies are always going to give us feedback. So it's not like you can totally mess up. It's just that you might not feel well. And that's the beginning of the process for most of us, right? Most of us, just when you eat all the foods that we have inhibited for months or years or decades. And that's really normal. Beyond that, when we're starting to struggle, having troubles with I know what I want to eat and I know how much I need to eat, that's a pretty clear sign to me, at least there's some struggle in being able to slow down and just recognize wow, I don't often eat what I want for any of my meals, and if I don't know what I want, I just go without. And again, that's a little warning sign for me, okay, there was some point in our past where needs just weren't slowed down and paid attention to enough by some circumstance in our environment that we even learned how to do that, because we learn how to feed ourselves through first being fed. That's what co-regulation means. So it's as babies, we're hungry, we're nursed, fed with a bottle, whatever. As we get older, we learn how to eat by giving little pieces of things and messing with it and playing with it, but also we learn how to sit down at a table and eat a variety of food and know that that's good to do and that's safe. Good morning, Michelle. Hi. We learn how to do that because of watching others. And so if others don't do that, or if others have some struggles with their own relationship with food, that becomes part of our foundation. And so we don't always know how to have had a lot of experiences with food and know what works for us and what doesn't, and know where enough is. And sometimes when we don't know if enough is going to happen, we just kind of collapse and stop looking inward to see what we need because it feels like it doesn't matter. And or if we're struggling with stopping the reach to have enough, having that voice inside that says like, okay, I've had enough and these needs are met, or I've gotten enough, or enough has been here for me. If that hasn't happened in all areas, I bet, of our life, sometimes we do extra reaching with the food. And those behaviors, I want you to see as a voice of like, oh, this is telling me that either there's been too much or not enough. And so as I wrap up here this video, what I want to say is, if you're struggling with knowing like what I want, or what is the right match, or I'm really bored with food, I need you to look either at, does this show up in any other areas of my life where there's too much or not enough, and I don't know how to navigate that, or I don't have enough support or experience to do that, or then deciding like, okay, can I get a little clearer about what I need? So sometimes it's really tangible. It's like, I'm a person that I hardly ever feel like eating, and then I struggle with like, the first half of the day I struggle a lot with food, let's say, and I don't feel hungry, or maybe I do, but I get buzzed off in the beginning of my day, and I don't know how to stop and see what I need or what I want. The only thing that's really going to fix that is by you practicing. It's really going to be a practice of like, hey, can I slow down enough to at least have like an idea of like, oh, I've been really wanting something warmer, something heartier, something easier, crunchier, and I just don't have a practice of doing that. So I got a question here I'm going to answer. Is I have stretches where I'm normal food for 3 weeks straight, then some days I get restricting mode for bounce right back to normal. Well, I would be really curious about those stretches where things are normal. What's making that feel or more normal or okay? And then what is happening? And it's not just a happening with the food. It's what has been building up that's too much, that's causing the restriction to come back in to make room, or to change something that's been happening. That's the curiosity I have. It's like, what's been building? Is it fear? And is that fear of weight change? Is that like, oh, I've been feeling more emotion and now I want to back off and kind of like pull back again? What is that? And that's something really important to kind of just be curious. Whenever you're having good stretches and then it feels like the bottom falls out, that's either something that's been building or something we've been ignoring. So I just want you to get really curious about that. So, all right, thank you all so much who watched live. I will have prompts for you on the days I don't do videos, so please tune in. Tracy Brown RD. I share all my posts and videos. I'm going to share those over at the Intuitive Eating support group site as well. So wherever you are, you can get access to this information and material. Please pass it along for someone who might need it. Let's see. I'm gonna read this last little bit before I hop off. So stretchful situations, sudden ones. Yeah, okay. Oh, good. So I'm glad that you're already recognizing, hey, this is like external stuff that's building. And so we don't want restriction, right? Or go back to dieting as the go-to for relief. We want to be able to have a true window of tolerance, a bigger window that we can come into and be in when life brings us stuff, because it's going to. This isn't about having a life. We're not going to have that where it's like there's no stressors, there's no challenges. It's having the capacity for them is the goal. And having the capacity for them without food being in the top 10 of how we tried to cope with it. So, reach out, Michelle, if you need any more help with growing your capacity so that food doesn't become like it's like the stand-in for what we needed to help our bodies feel more safe. So if you need help with that, let me know. Otherwise, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.